And we'll call to order the Village of Oxford Planning Commission meeting on this day, Tuesday, January 16th at 7 p.m. All rise. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Madam Secretary, roll call, please.
Justin Ballard.
Here.
Scott Flynn.
Here.
Maureen Helmuth.
Yes.
CJ Gosnor is absent. John Knoll.
Here.
Tom Schultz.
Here.
And Leslie Pilak is absent.
Do we have a motion to accept or excuse the absence of CJ Gosdor and Leslie Pilak?
I know Leslie's sick. Did we know CJ wouldn't be here?
Yes, he sent.
I'll
an
make a
email.
motion to approve to excuse their absence.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Absence excused. In regards to the agenda, I would like to make a motion to remove old business, review of landscaping ordinance as a result of Leslie's absence, and as requested in her prior communication.
If there's no other changes, I'll make a motion to approve the agenda as amended.
No, I just made a motion to
Then I'll support.
to amend the agenda by removing the old business.
Then I'll
Apologies if
support.
that wasn't clear. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? So we have an amendment to the agenda, removal of old business approved. As a result, do we then have a motion to approve the amended agenda for this evening, January 16th, 2024?
I think you already did.
Yep.
So we approved then the
Yeah.
agenda with
Yeah,
that
I know at
amendment?
first you were making a suggestion to do so, but then you said that was your motion, and then she seconded and you voted.
Okay, then we have an approved agenda.
Yeah.
Do we have a motion to approve the meeting minutes dated December 19th, 2023?
I'll make a motion to approve the minutes dated December 19th, 2003.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Do we have any correspondence?
Still one I have is related to Mario's absence. He did email me 1 hour before the meeting, he has a leaky water line at his home, and he is not able to make it.
Okay,
That came, like, I don't know, 5:45 or something like that today.
That's
so
what.
relay a message that we give condolences to
Yeah.
his leaky pipes
But I said, good luck.
for quick recovery.
Yeah.
And call to the public.
Did he
No.
do, I didn't look, did he do the respects to the flag? I didn't see him.
See that.
Follow suit. So we have, moving to new business on the agenda this evening, we have election of officers for the chairperson and the vice chair for 2024. Open dialogue and discussion, you know, as the chairperson for 2023. In transparency, my work schedule is expected to drastically change over the next 3 to 6 months with significant travel. I want the commission to be aware of that. I'm not opposed to maintaining the chairperson role for this calendar year, but I'm open to potential shift to vice chair or even a complete change-up as we discuss. But, yes.
Before you move along, I'm sorry to interrupt. Reviewing the minutes or the bylaws today, there's actually a chair and vice chair / secretary. It's written as 3 different things on here,
Mhm.
but I was reviewing the bylaws today just to brush up, and it looks like the latest version of the bylaws, the vice chair and secretary are one and the same.
Okay, thank you for
Yeah,
that
last year.
clarification. Therefore, we're looking to elect 2 officers, not necessarily 3 individuals.
I will say in the past, our modus operandi is the people who aren't here get the decisions.
Leslie's been very vocal
Yeah.
about at least the vice chair position that
She
she's
got
held.
snaked up on her. I'm comfortable with any of you. I do not like to do the chair and the vice chair. Tom's done it before, he's fabulous. Scott's doing a great job, just did a great job. Jonathan's from the township. So I'm open to anything.
Justin, do you have comments?
I am open to, John would be a great fit for the chair. I think if your time frame does not allow for it, I think John would be a good fit to step in for that. So I would personally recommend that John take the chair position, if that's okay. Okay.
So when we get into the actual, Tom, do you have any comments?
No, I do have a question, and Joe, this might be more for you. So the vice chair / secretary, what's the secretary responsibility?
That's why this is.
Terry, I thought that was the case, but it's fine.
Terry fulfills the duties
Okay.
of the secretary, in essence of publishing things. And
Yeah, yeah.
those in the paper, might have secretary names, stuff on it, those are done by Terry.
They
All
have
the
to
minutes,
stay
of
and
course.
bring cookies.
And she does a good job, Tom, so don't knock her off.
That might have been why we planted to get a vice chair,
Yeah.
but I didn't remember that until I went back and looked at the last version of the bylaw today.
Okay. I mean, John, do you have any comments on Justin's recommendation?
No, I don't, as long as we all pitch in like we've done in the past to help out the chair, that's great.
When it comes to question on process and procedure for election, do we need a motion? We make a motion to elect, are there 2 motions required, one for each position?
It's
or can it
sometimes
be
best,
total?
I think, to
In
put
the past, you've always done 2 motions, one for each position. But I just have a quick question, I'm not sure on the, because.
He's not an ex officio, John isn't.
No, but he's not a village resident either. And I don't know if he can chair the planning commission as a non-resident. He could be on the planning commission.
I looked in today, and all it mentioned, there was a footnote in there about the Michigan Planning Enabling Act about only an ex officio member cannot be the chair.
Okay.
And it would mean if you were here by default of your position, then that's not the case. We don't have an official position that says township board member here. It's just something that's done, it's a practice. Maureen is here as an ex officio. She's here as default as a member of the council. So I think she cannot be the chair for that reason. But I did look at that today too, because I wondered, but John's position isn't an ex officio spot.
Understood.
Mine, I'm an ex officio non-voting member, and then we have the regular voting members. So yeah.
Okay. Well, with the recommendation made by Justin, I will make a motion to elect John Nold as the chairperson for the Village of Oxford Planning Commission, calendar year 2024.
Support.
Roll call vote required?
Yes, Helmuth,
Yes.
Nold,
Yes.
Ballard,
Yes.
Flynn,
Yes.
Schultz,
Yes.
Gosdor is absent, and Pilot is absent.
Congratulations, John.
Thank you.
Sucker. Trust me.
Looking the other way.
You're making some, your experience. It's great to get in the chairperson role to get experience, and hopefully as your schedule opens up potentially for next year or the years to come,
Sure.
we can get back in those spots.
And if I may, the last thing I want to do is, take on that responsibility. Ultimately, it's intended to facilitate the dialogue and the discussion here. I don't want to leave the commission shorthanded for other priorities, so I think this is a good move. However, I am willing to consider the vice chair position, if that makes sense. Or we allow someone else to get involved.
I was gonna throw Tom under the bus. Suggest he do it. He was a great chairperson, and
I'm done with anything.
The only, once again, it kind of gets to the procedural thing. I know that in other, not to say you wouldn't be a great chair, but do you have to be on you have to be on the PC for a certain amount, like 1 year before you can become a chair or vice chair?
the last guy, we did it on his first meeting, he wasn't there. What was his name? Douglas.
Oh, Gary?
Yeah, his first meeting we made a chair.
He did a good job.
It was close to his first meeting.
That's fine.
So no, in our bylaws, it wasn't.
Okay, just, it was one of the, because I couldn't remember if that was one of the things. We had just did the township one, and that was one of the,
Was in our bylaw.
that's one of the bylaw ones, so that's what I just wanted to confirm.
I'll make a motion to appoint Tom Schultz as vice chairperson of the planning commission for 2024
/ secretary.
/ secretary.
I'll second. Madam Secretary, roll call vote.
Goster is absent, Nold,
Yes.
Ballard,
Yes.
Flynn,
Yes.
Helmut,
Yes.
Schultz.
Yes.
Yeah, Pilak is absent.
Tom, you'll see, we just, hey, Tom, you'll see, we just got your nameplate finalized, so we got it just in time.
Oh, all right.
Doesn't say chair, but at least it's not a paper one. Congratulations, Tom.
Well, thank you. Quite an honor.
And an honor.
So we have our officers now elected for 2024. The next agenda item is a sign permit application for 40 North Washington Street. The applicant K Blocks Barbecue, parcel ID 0422460001. I believe we've had communication from McKenna and Mario.
It's a very in-depth review from our DDA record.
I do have a question.
That's per our ordinance, it says the DDA director is supposed to provide feedback.
Yep, that's what I was looking for.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Not the board, but to the director. If you see her, it says this is okay.
Claire, what was your question? Okay,
That was my question.
confirming who it came from.
Yep, that's all I wanted.
Okay.
No, I know who it came from, I just wanted to verify that, I wanted to get it out there that that was part of the,
The communication
Yes.
from the director of the DDA.
yes.
Any
All
questions?
tonight and come before you will be the district, it seems, you know, there's very few outside that district. Some of our Glassy, but some of those wouldn't even come to you because internal illumination isn't a requirement to come to the I-1.
Mhm.
So,
When I got involved, maybe Mr. Chair,
Sure.
when I got involved with this, they're gonna take, from what I gathered from some of the pictures from the road that were on the internet, they're gonna take the awning down and put this back up, put this sign up in place of the awning. Those three or four businesses that are through there, there's the new one that has a cursive sign on the far right.
Mhm.
There's Harmon Glass. In the picture I had, their sign was broke, but it maybe could have been an old picture. We have this going in, and then the bakery on the left. Those are very, very busy windows. Those are it's a very busy advertising area. This is kind of simple. It's gonna stick out. It's gonna not stick out. It's gonna advertise their business. And I think it would suit the requirements we have to look at, whether it would fit within the village decor as you drive out of town. Mario did make a suggestion. He's not here. And we talk about our, excuse me.
General alignment with the,
Yeah, he wanted to say the sign-based ambient light levels will be controlled and an automatic photo cell system on the, as we've done with every other sign in the.
yeah, and aligns with his final recommendation. Any other comments, Tom? Well, with that, I would like to make a motion to approve the sign permit application for K Blocks Barbecue at 40 North Washington Street, based on the acceptance and indication from the executive director of the Oxford DDA, as well as the McKenna letter dated January 12th, 2024, which specifies the contingency for an installation of a photo cell that automatically turns on and off the sign based on ambient light levels.
I'll second that.
Madam Secretary, a roll call vote, please.
Helmut,
Yes.
Schultz,
Yes.
Nold,
Yes.
Flynn,
Yes,
Ballard,
Yes.
and absent or Goster and Pilak.
very good. Next on the agenda is the 2023 annual review. Unless I missed it, I haven't seen that from Mario
Did we get that from him today?
No, that was
I
a
think he was gonna-
email communication. He said, I'm very sorry, I will bring that to the next meeting, I promise.
Madam Chair, I'd like to make a motion that we table this to our next, there's no, excuse me, before I finish my motion, there's no deadline on this, it has to be filed and submitted in January.
No, there's no deadline.
Okay, so we can table it, or do you
No.
want us to put it out to
No,
the
you
next?
postpone it, because table means to put set down in this meeting and then take it back up in this meeting,
Okay,
so.
Yeah, postpone.
so I'd like to make a motion to postpone the annual review for 2023 until February.
I will second that motion. Roll call vote, please, Madam Secretary.
Ballard,
Yes.
Noel,
Yes.
Helmut,
Yes.
Schultz,
Yes.
Flynn,
Yes.
absent are Pilak and Gosler.
Okay. Postponed. We have since removed the old business for landscaping ordinance. Now we move to public comment. No public comment. Consultant and administrative comments? Assume none from Mark.
Dylan, piggyback on what John Noel started to talk about, how the permanent glass is broke. Just last week, we received an application for that sign. It's gonna be called the Glass Doctor, but didn't get it to us in time for us to get to Mario for review for tonight. But I would expect that perhaps at the next planning commission meeting.
Yeah, in fact, there's two sign applications. One is for 40 North Washington and the other one is for 72 South Washington.
Yeah.
So, one of the things that we're seeing is that, that the signs fit all of the requirements. And that every time they come back to us, it's typically it has to do with the lighting once again. That, I think last year we had talked about potentially creating or updating the ordinance to include that lighting ordinance so that this could be done from an administrative standpoint, which would allow the businesses to get a sign put up quicker, easier, and take less time. I would like us to talk about that again and potentially making that change to the ordinance. Because, for example, it took us now a couple minutes to take a look at the sign. The sign met, like tonight's sign, the sign met all the requirements, but it was the lighting again, which had to come back here. And usually, as long as that lighting is in there, we approve it again. I would like us to maybe talk about that again, potentially bring that up again this year, and have that be one of our objectives to do is consider that again.
Mr. Chair?
Yes.
One thing I've noticed is that we stick pretty much to the ordinance. If it doesn't meet the square footage, then this board, from my memories, always said, you gotta meet the square footage. And there's a couple of them that I remember that are a little bit recent that we've done that with. So if it meets the ordinance, and we can add to the ordinance the same things that Justin said about our automatic photocells, automatic and ambient light levels, I think that would move things along if it would be the position of the board. The board the planning commission would want to look at that.
Mhm.
Would that have, Joe, would that have to be a recommendation from us to go to the council?
Yeah. And let me follow up a little bit. The only reason some of these come to you is because they always will have to meet the ordinance first. The one from Dr. Steep came to you larger than it was supposed to because they were already coming from a special use sign, and a special use. Sometimes they're allowed to color outside the lines, if you will. But as you can see, you guys did the right thing, stuck to the ordinance and the size. But normally we wouldn't bring them to you if it didn't meet the size. And again, if this had the gooseneck lighting pointing back on a sign on the wall, you would never even seen it until it showed up in the building. Right? So the only reason they come to you is for the internal illumination.
Okay.
And remember the one doctor, Don Sherman's old place. Now it's Expediting Company and something else. He talked about the lights and the dimmers and stuff. The bulbs and stuff inside of a sign like that, he said, are not dimmable. The LED type reader ones are dimmable. You see those bright and less than that in the evening. So some of them, if it's going to write the ordinance, perhaps it be dimmable if capable. Because some of the capabilities aren't there in the way that sign is constructed, as that gentleman stated that day.
And I've had some conversations on the side about signs. If the ordinance calls it out that they need to meet certain requirements and they do not build that sign capable of meeting those requirements. And it'd be up to the business owner to have that sign meet those requirements or have a variance. From my
I understand, you, so then that causes the owner later going to ZBA and all that stuff, or you put it in the ordinance if it's mature and it is available. If it's
The
unavailable-
CBA can't grant sign variances.
That's right, it goes back to you, doesn't it?
Council?
Yeah, no,
Only on signage, isn't it?
It's just sign,
Yes.
the zoning board cannot grant sign
Which is-
variances.
Different, but it's the
Well-
way it is.
Yes.
You know, I just mentioned it to bring it up, just to maybe consider it again, just to maybe think about, because, you know, it's just an example, this is maybe just another example of us.
Yeah.
It's coming here, and every single time we've always approved it with that one very specific light variance, or that condition. And if we could make that, just how we're updating our, looking at potentially updating our landscaping to meet those needs that it has. We do the same thing with the signs as well. Might streamline the process internally and through administratively.
Mhm.
All right.
If we wanted to look into that, or bring that up as a topic for the planning commission to look into, do we need a motion to do that? Or
Direction from us, I think would be fine from the chair or from everybody. We could put something together and request Mario give some potential draft language at next month's meeting.
It's worth the conversation.
But we would do it based on direction from, doesn't necessarily have to be motion. Everyone just kind of thinks, yeah, that's.
As we set out to make some improvements in 2023, which we're right on the verge of doing so with the landscape, I would then, because I'm in basic agreement with the comments made from Justin, make a request on behalf of the planning commission for Mario to review that ordinance and provide proposed language on how to streamline the sign application process.
As it relates to the lighting.
Specific to, or with a focus on the lighting aspect of such application.
We will do that for the February meeting. I don't know for sure we can have one later. We're done for this year, right, for this month, that's right, 'cause the first one was.
Right,
Maybe the February meeting.
we should have one first
Yeah.
Tuesday in February with the sign permit applications.
The 6th, if I'm not mistaken.
Yes.
Okay, good. Moving forward, do we have any updates from the Township Planning Commission?
Oxford Township is in the midst of their master plan. There are surveys out. If we'd like to suggest that everyone take the survey, whether they live within the township or not. The survey will separate those folks, whether they live in the township or not. And we have, I forgot the number, it just came out today, the amount of responses back, but we're looking to run that open survey until the end of the month. And as many of you folks can respond to the survey, that would be great.
You know, we all live in the township,
Correct.
just making sure.
No, that's why.
It's-
We have it open for people who work in the township can also fill out, that don't live in the township, can also fill out the survey. And that's why we do have that, to separate that.
I think it's really important that you fill it out. It's extremely important to fill it out and to look at it and to actually participate, because it's the master plan and the changes that could potentially be made, and it affects the whole community.
Along those lines, the DDA's TIF plan is also on the internet.
And I responded to them as well.
If you are on really bored and want to read something exciting, there's your document.
For what it's worth, the survey, which I took, is, it touches on all of the key points. I think that the community is engaged and really cares about whether we're a part of the township or not. I guess we are.
Yes, you are part of the township, 100%.
So 15 minutes of your time is well worth it.
But Joe and Terry are welcome to fill out the survey because
You gotta have some outliers in there, in every survey.
Well, legally too, any of your adjoining municipalities are supposed to be sent a copy of your master plan draft and are encouraged and asked to participate.
That's later in 2024.
Yeah.
Yep.
Did you say it is online?
Yes.
Okay.
I saw it in the newspaper about a little.
Yep.
little about it.
And the ZBA?
No action?
No meeting.
Okay. DDA?
I'll expand a little bit on what Mo said. The TIF plan renewal is in process. There's no changes to the district. I know when we sent some of the notices out, some people, we had a map in there, and people were wondering if it was changed or not. It has not changed. The DDA did make a recommendation, a resolution to recommend the approval of the new TIF plan to council. The public hearing is scheduled for our February council meeting. And again, right on the homepage of our website, there's a link to the draft plan that's there now. There's a couple of minor little tweaks that Mario's gonna do to that draft. Insignificant to the whole plan itself, though.
Joe, do you know what? There's like 5 properties that have X's in them.
Oh, I can't remember what that was. I
Do
was
you know-
asking about that.
One is like, I think it's the Oxford Bank property.
I saw that on the map, but it's not on the key.
One, and I was looking on my phone, which I know isn't the biggest piece of paper,
I thought the same
and I
thing.
couldn't find anything.
I can't remember what that was now. I thought the same thing.
Maybe, I'm trying to think what the other one was. I think the other one was like the old used car lot.
Yeah. I don't think, I thought maybe it was like something just totally insignificant, why they're even there, like it was almost like an overlay that shouldn't have been there or something.
Okay.
But I can't recall off the top of my head, 'cause I thought the same thing. Because you look at the map key, there's nothing
Right.
for those X's.
I'll call you tomorrow and ask you.
Okay.
Any commissioner comments?
The village is working on parking. There's gonna be some meetings coming up, especially the northeast parking lot. We're gonna look at all the parking lots and as far as, are they laid out properly? Did we get more spaces? What's our whole parking scheme gonna be? Because with the banquet facility going in, those neighboring properties are concerned about the northeast lot. So we're just gonna attack them all.
And the banquet facility is located in that quad.
The old Williams Art Class, 18 North Washington, 22
To the
North
right
Washington.
of homegrown. So if you look at
Okay.
homegrown to the right. Facebook
Oh,
was in-
okay, yep, yeah. Okay, good. One comment for me, if I may, I appreciate the opportunity to be the chairperson for 2023, and look forward to continuing contributions this coming calendar year, so.
Did you get all kinds of improvements at work because you're our chairperson? They
Yeah,
move right up in the ranks.
Absolutely.
Better office.
Better office on the corporate ladder.
Corner office.
Yes.
Nice window.
Yeah. Okay, very good, thank you again. Future business, highlighting 2 sign permit applications in the works. One at 40 North Washington for the Glass Doctor, as mentioned earlier in this meeting, as well as 72 South Washington for LabCorp.
If I could real quick, sorry, kind of playing right into those. Both of those locations have an individually approved sign plan at them. I don't know if you were in the planning commission years ago, we checked that, so there is oddities to them, because of the multiple unit ones in the 40 North, and the same thing with the 72 South with the Crittenden building. There is a sign plan specific to those, so we will make sure internally that they adhere to that, because for instance, if you may see a building that only has 25-foot frontage, which normally would be held to 25 square feet, but they allow the 30 down at Crittenden as part of that master plan or a sign plan.
Okay, good. Thanks, Joe. With that, at 7:29, we shall adjourn.